How about that NFC South though? The Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Saints are all 2-0. Three teams in the NFC South are undefeated. Who would have thought that would be the case going into the season? And I might say there's a lot of good things to talk about in every single team. Like Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, not gonna say balling, but playing really, really good. He seems to have found a connection with Mike Evans. Defense is playing pretty good. Offense is keeping the chains moving. If Baker Mayfield could keep this up, wild card not out of the picture. Maybe the division. We'll see if they can do anything in the playoffs. But I think if you're a Buccaneer fan, you're ecstatic. You're happy with the first two seasons. You're 2-0. You're 2-0, and your quarterback is playing pretty good or really good. You got to be real happy about that. Baker Mayfield. We know Baker Mayfield could play. Like he could play. It's just his consistency. And sometimes he thinks he's more athletic than he actually is. He tries to extend the play too much. He takes a big fat sack trying to, get around the corner of the DE end. And he throws like a bad pick and then it just all falls apart. But he could throw. He could throw the ball. He's not a bad quarterback. He just has bad moments sometimes. And it was tough with the Browns. It's kind of ugly. And he did pretty good with the Rams. But now he's with the Buccaneers. He won the quarterback race. We'll see how the Buccaneers do. Happy for them. I'm happy for Tampa Bay. And they got the Eagles next, so that's a real test. If the Buccaneers beat the Eagles and they go to 3-0 on Monday Night Football, hey, yo. Baker Mayfield for Comeback Player of the Year, and the Buccaneers are for reals. And especially because the Eagles have not looked like amazing. Like they're 2-0, but they have not looked amazing. So they definitely look like they could be got. They definitely look like they could be caught. So we'll see how they do. Moving along to the Saints, they just beat the Panthers on Monday Night Football, and it wasn't pretty. Derek Carr got interviewed after the game, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? We're 2-0. It's not pretty, but we rather learn on a loss than learn on a win than learn on a loss. There's a lot of stuff they could work on still. The offense doesn't look particularly pretty, but they do have weapons. Taysom Hill is one of them. He sealed the game on a run to the left, and he's just a gadget player. He's an X factor. Tony Jones gets his first 2 touchdowns of his career after Jamal Williams got hurt. We'll see if he's able to carry the load. We'll see how serious that injury is for Jamal Williams. Tony Jones, can he give him some running game till Kamara gets back from the suspension? Olave, Shaheed, Thomas, they got some wide receiver depth right there. Defense is pretty good. We'll see how the Saints do. 2-0. I think Saints fans have to be ecstatic too. This whole division, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna be terrible. I thought like the division winner was gonna be like a 9-8 type of team. At best, like a 10-7 at best. But we got 3 teams 2-0. And the Saints have, who do the Saints have? The Saints play the Packers. The Packers just lost to the Falcons, who we'll talk about in a little bit. The Saints could definitely beat the Packers, even though the Packers have looked pretty good. Jordan Love has done his thing. He looks pretty good. He looks, 3 touchdowns in each game, I believe, throwing through the air. So, but the Saints could go into Lambeau and get an upset win at Lambeau Field. But yeah, Saints, not the prettiest team. It wasn't the prettiest win against the Titans by no stretch of the imagination. Monday Night Football, prime time, didn't look that good against the Panthers either, but they get a dub. They're 2-0. This is probably the iffiest looking team out of the 3 2-0 teams in the NFC South. I do think the Buccaneers have looked a little better, and the Falcons have looked a little better. And we'll touch on the Falcons right now because they just beat the Packers. A little comeback win. It looked like the game was not going to go their way, not going to lie. But they shut down the Packers in the fourth quarter, and some way or another, Desmond Ridder brings them back. He still doesn't look, in my opinion, as like he's the guy, like he's their future. He throws a lot of risky passes. He has 1 interception, but he had a couple that he should have been intercepted, but the Packers just couldn't grab it. But my God, Bijan Robinson, That dude is a menace. That dude is a menace. Like go if you haven't watched or if you don't get to see the highlights or the game, go look up the highlights. Packers versus Falcons. Some of the runs that Bijan Robinson was doing are just insane, man. Like this guy is a freak. This guy is a freak. Like my boy is nasty. Like as an NFL free agent fan, like this is the liberty that it gives me as a free agent fan is that I could root for any team. I could watch any game. I could get any player's jersey. Bijan Robinson is one of those jerseys that I might have to cop, dude. That was raw. He's nasty. And they might be able to lean on him, dude. Like Desmond Ritter, I'm saying he's not the best and he throws some dumb passes, but Bijan Robinson could literally be like Saquon Barkley last year and damn near be the whole offense. And just as long as the quarterback doesn't throw the game away, like kind of like Daniel Jones, 5 turnovers all of last year or 5 interceptions all of last year. If Ritter could do that, you know, the Falcons could be difficult for some teams. Like their run game's so nasty. Even Tyler Algier, like he's a good backup. He's a good backup. He's a good change of pace back. Ritter could run the ball too. He did get another touchdown rushing, so gotta give him a little bit of credit. But dude, the NFC South doing their thing, 2-0 for 3 teams. And the Falcons play the Lions, gonna be a tough matchup. They play the Jaguars, gonna be a little tough. Then they get the Texans, the Commanders. They could get some dubs right there. So we'll see. It's a nice little test coming up for them, Lions and Jaguars. If they're able to get through that, even 1-1, then Falcons are for real, man. Ride Bijan Robinson to the end. I should have drafted him in my fantasy football league. Oh my god, I thought the hype was too much. I was like, dude, there's no way he lives up to this hype. Like this hype is just too much weight to carry with such a young team. Like, bruh, like come on, like there's no way. And I drafted other people, but we'll see how he does. Good job for him. He's impressive. But throw the ball to Kyle Pitts more, man. For real, like why did the Falcons draft Kyle Pitts so high if they're not gonna use him? Like they got this man celebrating beating a man on a route, but not getting the ball thrown to him. There's clips of him just celebrating beating people on routes because my man's bored. He gets no chances. But yeah, shout out to the NFC South, looking legit after 2 weeks.